One thing you do a lot is you want to move stuff around. You want to move different subtools up and down. Now we have a whole different chapter on subtools, so don't worry if you don't understand what this is. But basically, in short, it is a bunch of different models here you have associated under the same tool. So what if you want to take the teeth here and you want to move the teeth left to right, up and down? Now, this is very easy to do in ZBrush. If you hit the W key, E and R, you can see this activates move, scale, and rotate up here. It's pretty similar to what you have in something like Maya, where this might just feel familiar to you right away. So if we go under move, now you can see that we have the move gizmo right away. If you want to move where the gizmo actually pivots from, you can hold on the Alt key and you can just drag on or hold on the different handles. And now you can see that these are moving where you want to be. You can also see we hold the Alt key. This also unlocks the little lock icon as well. So now we can go in and we can just start to move this around. So this is very, very easy in ZBrush. This is a fairly recent addition to it, which improved just every single thing so much. You want to scale something up, you can hold on the middle one like this, just a square in the middle. If you can scale on a single axis as well. Or you can also rotate it around the different pivots as well. So it's very similar to how traditional 3D software actually works, though it has some additional features here as well. One of them is that you can now move all the different subtools along with this as well. Now we aren't really going to be seeing this because it's just going to look like we're navigating. But if you click on this and we're to move it, we're actually physically moving this right now. So it just looks like we're just moving like this, but we are actually moving all the subtools at one go. Really, really useful stuff. You can also move it back into the center of it. So if you hit this key, this is it looks like the Google Maps one where you are here. Then click it and it's going to move to the unmasked center. So if you want to mask something now, we have a whole chapter on masking as well, and click it, it's going to move to the unmasked center of it. So you can just see where it actually goes. So really useful if you want to have specific control over where it actually is. If you hold on the Alt key as well, you can also change the rotation of the pivot. So now if you want to move it at a specific axis, you can easily do that. And you can move the model based so it fits on the axis now. So now if you were to hit the rotation icon here, it's going to actually move it so it would fit based on the axis you just had. So now you can see that the teeth of this guy now is at the same axis as this as the red axis here. So this is a really nice way of doing it. But what if you don't want to do that? You want to move the pivot back. What if you want to move the rotation back? Well, now you can hold on the Alt key and you can just click on it like so. You can also do the same thing here as well, where you can hold on the Alt key and you can click on the home icon here, this little house, and it's going to put it to the actual mesh center. Or you can hold down just click the key, and that's going to move the actual object to it, depending on where it is. So if you just click on it, this is actually going to move the object to where it is. So really useful stuff. You're going to be dealing with the pivot quite a lot, and this is going to get quite intuitive pretty quickly as well. So you can just see what it's doing by hovering over it. If this doesn't feel intuitive in the beginning, don't worry about it. This is going to feel second nature, like most things in ZBrush. Like we talked about in the beginning, there are a few things you just have to understand about ZBrush, and this is one of them. Once you get this, everything kind of unlocks. Now, there's another way of doing it as well. This is the old school way. If you go up here, you can see that we have a Gizmo 3D and you have the Y hotkey. This indicates that we can enable and disable this. So it's kind of interesting, right? Like disabling the Gizmo, what would actually replace it? Well, let's try it. What replaces this is this weird system. This is what was originally in ZBrush before we had the Gizmo, and it's called the Transpose tool or the Transpose lines. This is an incredibly powerful system, and it doesn't really replace the Gizmo tool, or the Gizmo doesn't really replace this. It's just they just have different use cases. This is better if you want to You want to have very specific control over your mesh, and it has a few different features as well. So let's show you how you can actually use this. If you hold down the shift key and just rotate to just shift and just rotate, now we go from perfect side view. And now let's say we want to move the teeth up at this exact axis here. We can just drag out the transpose line like this. And you can see that this is going to be a bit off axis like this. But if you hold on the shift key now and we drag it up, now it's going to be perfectly on axis. So then we can just move it up and down on this axis like so. To hold on the center key or the center circle like this. We can also hold on the shift key now while going on the center. And now it's going to go at this exact axis. So this is incredibly useful if you want real precision of your rotation or where you're moving it. Let's try this again as well. But now we've just been moving the tool up or the transpose line like this. So let's see what happens when we move on. We move on this from this side. So we move here, and now it just scales down. Let's see what happens here. Now this is where it gets weird in ZBrush, because you can, these are not symmetrical. It's not that these are the same. One of them will actually scale it down like this, and the other one will just cull it. It will just flatten everything here. This is one of the weird quirks of ZBrush, where it doesn't really make sense. Like from an interface point of view, you would never assume that one scales it down and the other one just destroys the form like this. But this is just the way it is. There are some weird quirks in ZBrush, and it's almost like you got to remember what they are. But this is quite useful though if you're doing something like hard surface and you want to have really sharp lines. Like this is not a bug, this is an actual feature. You can also click on the keys here or the different colors, and now it's going to snap it to different axes as well. This is also this also works when it comes to moving and rotating as well. So if you want to quickly scale something up, you can hold on the shift key now and drag on a teeth here, and now you can just scale it up like so. But unlike with it move, this actually scales it from the other pivot. So there's no, with the scaling, there is no destruction of your model. So if you hold down this circle, it's going to scale from this pivot. If you hold down on this circle, it's going to scale from this pivot. Sounds counterintuitive, but it's actually quite useful once you get used to it. So you might just want to play around with this, where you just try to scale out things like this. Same with rotation as well. If you want to rotate this around as well, we have the same transpose. You see, this is the same for all of them. They just do actually different things. So if you want to rotate from this point now, we can hold down or just click on the circle here, and then we can just rotate around. So this actually rotates. It's not like with the move brush where it just kind of skews it like this. It actually rotates around. If you hold on the center one though, it's going to actually, like the middle one here, it's actually going to rotate around from the pivot in the y-axis. So this is really useful if you just want to quickly just tilt the entire thing around, or if you want to do like this. This also has some additional features as well, which we will discuss in the masking chapter. But if this is confusing to you, like if the transpose tool is confusing, you really don't have to use it. You can use just the Gizmo tool, and this is very intuitive to use. It's very similar to what you might already be familiar with in other 3D software, or if you're not familiar with other 3D software, it should just be intuitive to look at what it's doing. You have a green arrow here, and you click the green arrow, and now you move it in the location of the green arrow. So really quite useful stuff.